Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 23 of the April daily draws. So let's see what message we get today, and I'll be taking the first card from the Druidcraft Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Celtic Spirit Oracle. So let's use our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. And we'll go there. The Six of Swords, moving forward, transitioning to better times, usually by a journey of the mind. It can represent a physical, actual journey, traveling. Some of us may be going somewhere, which will give us a fresh perspective on things. Maybe going to sometimes, and you hear the phrase that travel broadens the mind because we experience new places, new cultures, new people. We see something different to what we're used to all the time, and that refreshes our mind. It inspires us perhaps with fresh ideas, fresh thoughts, because new experiences often do. So traveling can be a part of dealing with issues in our minds, and resolving them. Travel can be therapeutic if we have the means, if we have the opportunity. So yes, it could be a possibility that this is an actual traveling sort of concept for some of us. But for the rest of us, it may just be a metaphorical journey of the mind in our thinking, the way we think about things. We may get to a place where we change our thinking or work through some issues sufficiently that we feel differently about a situation. Often this card means that we're traveling perhaps from troubled waters, perhaps, to more still, more peaceful waters. And we're journeying to a better destination than where we've come from. So that could be it for us, that we're moving, it's healing the thoughts and the things in our minds that come from perhaps bad experiences that we've left behind us. And we're getting at peace with ourselves again. So that could be an aspect of the Six of Swords that we are experiencing at this time as we move forward. And at its basic level, I think as well, this journey of the mind is just about maybe dealing with the way we think about ourselves and about our situation. It's gaining a new perspective, perhaps, that that will change the way we view ourselves and where we are now and where we're heading. And that eventually may bring a sense of peace, a sense of resolution to any issues that we have. But it is a journey, so it's not necessarily going to happen overnight. Because our old thinking, our usual familiar way of thinking is so ingrained, gaining a new perspective takes time to get established. That perspective that we want to get or seeking, we may see that perspective, but for it to become part of us and to be the way that we see things now takes time. It's a process. We've heard a lot recently through these readings about things being a process and taking their due time. And to me, this journey of the mind is no different. But having said that, Every journey has to start somewhere. So as long as we're making a start and moving towards that, and working through the process of trying to see things from a new perspective, we may not get it. It may not work for us straight away. We may struggle with that perspective. It may seem so foreign and alien to us that we struggle to take it on board. But eventually we may see it for the truth that it is, and it becomes part of us. But that takes time. That takes practice. There are times when we're going to revert perhaps to some of the more familiar, usual old style thinking. There'll be moments of that for most of us, and that is natural. It's normal. It in itself is part of the journey, part of the process. So don't think that you're messing things up by doing when that happens. No, that's just, to me, that's just a normal part of the journey. What we will find is that as our perspective begins to change, that when we revert to the old ways of thinking, the usual way that we've been used to, we become more aware of it, of the difference between the two, and we can catch ourselves perhaps more readily. We'll get better at that as we go along, and we'll realize that we're looking through our old eyes rather than the new perspective that we're trying to gain. And that's okay. But if we realize it and we catch ourselves, then we can more readily then say, right, okay, I'll try and move away from that again. And as we become more aware, as we catch ourselves more, as we become more used to fixing our focus on the new perspective, that's when it becomes more real to us. And that, in a sense, is where our old thinking will fade away eventually. Maybe not completely. There always may be times when we revert back to that, but we will notice that and we'll catch ourselves and rectify the situation. But it's just that progression of that journey that we're going to enter into, and to at least be open. Certain parts of our thinking we may hold on to. It may just be certain aspects of the way we think about things that may need to change, and we'll learn what those are as the process goes on. We just need to be willing and be receptive to adjusting our thinking where necessary, and not to hold too strongly to the way that we've always thought about things. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. The Green Woman. Feminine nature, oneness. Maybe to me, we're getting a oneness, a connection of a sense of wholeness and connection to our own inner nature, our true nature. That's the gaining of the perspective of our true nature, rather than the nature that we've took upon ourselves through our lives, through various experiences. But what do we truly believe? What do we truly perceive if we look through the eyes of our true selves? And this journey of this progressive journey, this mental journey, is part of becoming more one with ourselves and being our true selves. And that's the journey these cards are encouraging us to continue upon. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 24. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.